All right, Coach, coverage of the National Football League on EA Sports brings us to Southern California and Dignity Health Sports Park in Carson. Today, we're set for a good AFC matchup between the Houston Texans and the Los Angeles Chargers. It's the first weekend of autumn, and the NFL is in full swing as off we go on EA Sports. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 as he's taken down right at the 20.
Where's the set? 19! Choose the mic. Hey, watch the slam.
Now a first-time Pro Bowler from a year ago, Lamar Miller. So he got free of one tackle but couldn't do a whole lot else. Denzel Perryman there to bring him down.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. What that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Strip the ball. Strip that ball. Twist. Come down.
On Watson, the catch made by DeAndre Hopkins. And he'll be corralled right around the 34. 12 yards there and a first down.
I don't care who you put on him. He's going to be a handful in one-on-one throws.
Yeah, right now you're right. They're in man-to-man. Maybe needs some safety help.
I would say that'd be a good idea. Double team him somehow. I'm going to have to make someone else beat me rather than let him shred my defense.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10.
You better break. I'm letting you know right now. You better break.
Watson going to give this one to Miller. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice gain like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
On 2nd down now, it's Miller. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Credit the tackle there to Uchenna Nwosu. The Chargers trot out their dime package, expecting a throw on 3rd down. Out of the gun, Watson. Man open, that's Kiki QT complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. His first catch, good for 14 there and a first down.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
So from Charger territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line. Now Watson. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
That would have been a great catch, but it was real difficult to hold on to it because it was contested all the way. Would have been a great play if he'd been able to haul that one in.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10.
So we got man.
They go back to the ground now with Miller. And they'll get this just to the 47. 1-yard gain.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Here comes the 7th play of this opening drive. They've moved it well, but here's 3rd down. From the gun, here's Watson. He finds his target, Fuller. 13 yards on his first catch. It's a first down as well. Nice job keeping that opening drive alive, and they're in plus territory, that part of the field where you really want to convert on 3rd down. They did.
Big-time pickup for them, and now I think the aggressive play callers think to themselves, this part of the field, I take my shot at the end zone, because the closer you get to the end zone, the field gets condensed. Makes it a lot tougher to run those routes. You still got a chance to actually run past people right now. Take your shot at the end zone early in the down and distance count.
This is Corey Clement, the 3rd-year back from Wisconsin. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on 1st down.
Well, that didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11. Now it's Watson, a bootleg. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
Brandon, it looked like he had his hands on it for a moment, but let's face it, that was going to be a tough catch all the way because of the presence of the defense right there as he was trying to haul it in.
Yeah, nice job to force the incompletion. They'll try to capitalize on play number 11 of this opening drive. 3rd and goal. To throw is Watson. And this is going to be caught, but they'll say out of bounds. So it's incomplete. Thought they were going to force a 4th down. Instead, P.I. gives them the 1st.
And that's frustrating because you think you've taken them really deep into the count, haven't you? Instead, you've got to start all over. That can really, really be demoralizing.
After the penalty, it's Miller. And they go the wrong way here. Knocked back to the 20. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's 2nd down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
Watson. That is caught. Hopkins for the Texans touchdown. DeAndre Hopkins, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Texans have taken the early lead. Now, this is a crew, they've come out flat their last 2 games, both losses, but just judging by the energy level, they look different here early, and that touchdown shows how.
Yeah, it seems to me that touchdown gets them off the treadmill. Because, you know, you've been on the treadmill. I've seen you work out. You go forever and ever, and it tells you you've gone somewhere, but you really have. You're in the same spot. They've exchanged it for an escalator. Still got some hills to climb, but they can get there.
These are good analogies. I run outside sometimes, though. You know, get some fresh air, a little sun on your face.
A little wind in there.
Yeah, that's right. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. So Rivers will lead the Chargers up 1st and 10 at their own 23. Melvin Gordon, the two-time Pro Bowler, and he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. Plays like we just saw there. That's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out, because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game, and that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage.
On 2nd and 12, Rivers. Hunter Henry brings it in. Now, Charles, what's the mindset here offensively? You gave up the touchdown pretty quickly. Would it have changed if you had gotten a stop and it would be 0-0 right now, or no?
I wouldn't think so. I think in most cases, just down a touchdown, we're just getting started here. It should be a long way to go. You think to yourself, stick with the game plan, all the things you worked on in practice. But you have some teams that when they get down, their natural tendency is to aggressively strike back. And let's see if they want to get outside of the game plan we expect and try and be aggressive on their first series.
Nine, 190. Check 41. Hey, watch the slant. Watch the slant.
Rivers. He's got a man. It's Williams. And brought down, but not before he was able to break the tackle, and the extra effort moves the sticks. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks.
1st and 10 at the 36-yard line.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
We own them. We own them.
Here's Damian Harris, 3rd-rounder from Alabama, and able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. It'll go as a gain of 11 and a Charger first.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
A couple of first downs on the drive already, as they'll go from the 47 now on 1st down. They'll keep it on the ground. This time it's Gordon. And he'll fight his way forward to about the 48-yard line. J.J. Watt, the one that gets him down.
J.J. Watt makes another tackle there, and it's for a minimal gain. And let's face it, if that's all you're going to get running the ball, you're not going to have much success against him and his team.
Or, yeah, you better find a way to go around J.J. Watt, which isn't easy to do.
It's really not, because you got to try everything. Can you go around him? Can you go by him? Can you influence him to get him out of position so maybe you can wall him off? He's a really sharp, intelligent player, as well as a physical specimen.
On 2nd and 9, Rivers. It's his running back, Melvin Gordon. And they get to him after a gain of 6 to the 46.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Hey, Brown 80. Let's go, D. It's going to be a long day, offense. It's going to be a long day.
3rd and short yardage, Rivers. And he's got a man open. That's Allen. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. A Charger 1st down. Rivers hooking up with Allen. How about the start throwing the football? 4 for 4 on this opening drive.
Oh, he's slinging it. And oftentimes when you talk about slinging it, you're thinking about a guy throwing it all over the yard, not necessarily accurately. In this case, though, he's honing in on his targets, and he's delivering.
Yeah, the opening script, however, they drew it up for this first drive, going to plan so far.
Kill, kill, kill. Turn up. Kill, kill, kill. Turn up. Hey, 79. 79.
Now a carry by the third-year man. This is Austin Eckler. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Call that a loss of 5 yards on the play. And it'll be a 2nd and long. Henry's got it out on the left side. A minimal gain as we tick down inside of a minute remaining in the opening quarter.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
This offense 2 for 2 on third downs on this drive. They're in for a tough test here, though. 3rd and long. From the shotgun, it's Rivers. And that is incomplete. You and I watched film yesterday, and you told me to watch his feet. Well, for whatever reason, his footwork just looked off on that throw.
And you always love it when an ex-defensive back talks quarterback mechanics, right?
Well, but you're good at it.
Well, I try, all right? I don't know how good I am, but it doesn't take much to tell. His mechanics are off a little bit, exactly what you described. Footwork, that led to the incompletion.
The Chargers, a team that's really been played the last decade or so, but I think they feel they've solved their problems with Badgley.
I would say so. He went 15 for 16 in 10 games last season, undrafted out of Miami. And remember, he had 5 field goals in the playoffs against the Baltimore Ravens.
This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. And here comes the Texans now. They had the touchdown on the opening drive of the ball game. It was countered by just a field goal. So, hey, if your guys can do that for 4 quarters, you're in good shape.
Yeah, it is a team game, so that's just good complementary football. But, you know, I know I'm no brainiac, but you trade 6s for 3s, things are going to work out in your favor.
Give him a couple on the scramble. It's 2nd down.
Well, he did a nice job keeping his eyes downfield, waiting for someone to get open. But once the pressure forced his eyes down to see the rush, it was time to make a break for it.
Try to get one more in here before the quarter breaks. After one, 7-3 the score on EA Sports. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, and it's Texans football as we get going at quarter number 2, as they've got a 2nd and 8 forthcoming.
Drop deep, drop deep.
Watson hands to Miller on the draw. And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there.
Bust
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much.
Set. 19. 58. Come on. It's been a long day for you.
Throwing on third down, Watson. Fuller brings it in over the middle. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. The 21 yards there as they convert on third.
Texans.
Target's attack. 19. Tighten up, tighten up. Pull it together.
Watson going to pull back the handoff and keep it himself. He gets it forward for 4, maybe 5, but the flags fly. And this one could be coming back. They were looking to throw, holding on the big right tackle.
That's real simple, partner. Keep your hands inside in the chest area. You're probably okay. You get it out on the shoulders, get them wide. Usually going to pick up a holding call.
We're set. 19. 52. You don't know no better.
Watson hands this to Foreman. And he will be brought down at about the 43 that time. Tackle made by Thomas Davis.
Well, they didn't get a whole lot out of that one, but I think you got to continue to try and run and try and keep the defense honest.
You mean or also just sit back, dare you to throw it on every down?
Yeah, you get your quarterback hit a lot that way, too.
Now on 2nd and 16. Watson nowhere to escape, and he goes down. That's Thomas Davis on the sack. Came in the league way back in 2005.
And that's their first sack of this game, but how about last week? 6 sacks, great coverage downfield, which helped that pass rush. They are really working in sync right now.
Following the sack, it's now 3rd and long for Watson and the Texans.
3rd
and long, it's Watson. Oh, the ball is out. Watson lost it.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is a quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Now Benjamin. So a change of possession here on the punt. And it'll be Charger football here as they take over. A reminder, coming up later tonight, a lot of buzz about this game. The Browns, they've been doing some travel. Back-to-back primetime games for them. Monday night they were in New York. Now the Browns head to Los Angeles to take on the NFC champs, Browns and Rams. An 8:20 kickoff Eastern time, 5:20 in California. A loss of 2 there, 2nd down. Another example right there how this defense really is winning the entire game at the point of attack.
Yeah, right there at the line of scrimmage because they are dominating it. It allows their interior guys to get upfield and spill into the backfield. So how are you going to combat that? You know, people say bring in your tight end, keep him in. Your running backs, they have to step forward. Bottom line, your offensive line has to block them first to give yourself a chance.
Now, meanwhile, here's a second down throw that's knocked away and incomplete. Keenan Allen, the intended receiver. And now it's third down.
12 yards to go.
Fournette, 390. 41 Mike. Watch the curve. Watch the curve. Shit. Red.
They just got that play off. Now Rivers. And that will be incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? Zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
He punted 5 times in the win last week as this one's away. It'll be just an 18-yard punt. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. And now out comes Houston. They've got the lead. Last time had to punt it, though. What's the key to this drive?
I think it's leverage. Big guys up front. You know the motivational speech on the sideline is, guys, give us an opportunity. Protect the passer, create space for our runners, and let's go ahead and get these guys. Low man wins. Let's go do it on this drive.
We'll watch that leverage on this drive. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down.
Watch the screen.
Now Foreman. And he'll be corralled out across midfield down to the 45. 11 yards there, 1st down.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another 1st down with that run.
Set. UAT.
Watson on 1st down. That's caught by his tight end, Trevon Wesco. And he coughed it up and picked up by the Chargers. So the defense there, opportunistic.
It's nice to give them credit, isn't it? Because so many times it's more a matter of what the offensive guy didn't do. He didn't secure the ball, didn't cover up. In this case, let's just give credit to where it belongs. Knocked it free, made a big play.
The Chargers offense now, they get set to head back on the field. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you... Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Whitney Merciless, showing no mercy, flies in for the sack.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. On 2nd down, Eckler. Now pickup of 7 there, but they'll still have 12 yards to go on 3rd down.
That was a good run, probably right on the edge of breaking into something really big. So the defensive guys right now are talking about, okay, what can we do to slow him down before he truly gets started?
The Chargers on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd down and 12. From the gun, Rivers. He'll rifle this one deep right side. And that'll be incomplete. Well, they took their shot all right, but it comes up empty. And it's 4th down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, and have them back on their heels.
On is the Chargers punter now, as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. A 41-yard punt there with no return. And that will come the offense as they take over. The Texans offense now, they get set to head back on the field here. And last drive, obviously not what you're looking for. You've got the lead. You got to protect the football.
So in other words, someone got lucky because they've been moving the ball really well and wearing them down. In this case, though, giving up the football doesn't make them very happy. They can't wait to get back out there and atone for it.
Yeah, try to atone for it here on this drive. 5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
2nd and 5 at the 33-yard line.
Where's that? 19! Check 52 to mine. Hey, me and you all day. All day. I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you.
Running this with a wide receiver, Fuller. And he's going to be brought down by the face mask. Here come the flags. This is going to get him a 1st down. Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
So the yellow flag came out, and that leads to a new set of downs for this offense. 1st and 10. Left side, Hopkins. And a gain of 4 gets him right to the midfield stripe.
4 yards on the pickup. 2nd and 6 at the 50-yard line.
Where's that? 19! Took you to the mic. You remember me? You remember me? Let's go, baby!
On 2nd down, Clement. And he's going to get across midfield and into Charger territory. 2 yards on the carry there, and it's going to lead him to 3rd down.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
The Texans on 3rd down. They've been good. 3 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. A shotgun snap for Watson. Completes this to Waring. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A good pickup there, 21 yards.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. And that's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
Well, they don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. 2 minutes to play in this first half. 7-3, our score. All right, coming up at intermission. Charles, you want to wait to enhance your Saturday?
I certainly do.
I've got just a thing for you. It's the coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by Orlando. He'll be alongside at half to take us through the weekend in the NFL. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Joey Bosa make that now 8 sacks for him on the season. He is proving his worth defensively. Getting the sack here, that comes after being named the AFC Defensive Player of the Week for his performance in last week's game.
He's stacking games together, isn't he? I mean, you just mentioned what he did the previous week to be named AFC Defensive Player of the Week, continuing to play at that level. And when you get that kind of confidence going, those kind of guys are hard to stop.
Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is second and long. Back to throw, Watson. Setting up the screen for Miller. And they went the wrong way there. Losing yardage back at the 43-yard line. And that screen there on second down certainly didn't develop how they had hoped. Is that one they should have even tried, or is that one the quarterback sticks in his pocket?
I think the latter. I like what you said there, because trying is one thing. We can second-guess just about every call. But in this case, when you realize that it's broken down, just throw it at the feet of your intended receiver so that no one can pick it off, right? You don't have the ball tipped up in the air, and you come back and try to pick up the first down.
Trying to force it to Hopkins, and it's intercepted. Derwin James with a pick, and he'll get this back to the 32-yard line.
Well, Brandon, there's no question who they're going to look to on third and long, but you can bet this defense knows that as well, so they've got him blanketed downfield. And this ball winds up being intercepted.
And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. Inside of a minute left in the half, does the fact that you're down on the scoreboard influence what you do, or I guess don't do on this final drive?
It certainly does, but what influences me even more is who I've got running my football team out on the field and the weapons around him. Can he make a play? Can he get into someone that we're going to trust to take care of the ball? If that's the case, I might push it a little bit here and try and get something before the half runs out.
Rivers now 6 of 10 in this first half. He's got his guys a first down here. Working out of the gun, Rivers. Over the middle, and it's caught. Keenan Allen. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. A 10-yard pickup, and it's enough for a Charger first down.
First and 10 at the 44-yard line.
You can't block me. You can't block me.
Rivers on first down. He's going to fire one deep left sideline. This is caught inside the 15. Now a timeout called with 3 seconds to go. And, of course, they're in field goal range in the final seconds of this first half. So 3 seconds here remain in the half. On is the field goal unit to see about getting 3 points. easily able to punch this one through. So we're at halftime with our score 7-6 in a tough-fought first half. As we are off to Orlando now to check in with Jonathan Coachman and our EA Sports halftime report. Coach, both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This will be taken in at the 1. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line.
The Chargers take over first and 10 at their own 28-yard line.
So Rivers will lead the Chargers up first and 10 at their own 28-yard line.
Strong right. You got three down. Slam.
Turn to Harris to begin the drive. Benardrick McKinney there to make the stop.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8.
Man, I got you.
Wait, 89!
Now a toss play to Eckler. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. It goes as a loss of 6. And now 3rd down.
At the 23-yard line.
The Chargers on 3rd down, 2 for 5 to this point. This will be 3rd and 15.
12. Hey, high 7.
Rivers now. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
On is the Chargers punter now. As the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Oh, it's a wobbler here.
The Texans take over first and 10 at the Chargers' 48-yard line.
Reset. Take it in. Switch.
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. Flushed out right. A fresh set of downs on a gain of 13 there for the Texans. The last drive, remember, similar situation. He forced a ball into coverage through the pick. He learned better there.
Yeah, similar to a golfer that's confronted with a shot that you just can't make. Sometimes you have to take your medicine, as they say, right? Just pull it down, take off, and go. Don't make something worse than what it was.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Watson with a give to Miller. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line.
Big hit. Reset. 19. 52 right here. Here we go, team. Here I come.
On 2nd and 12, Watson. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. The Texans on third down. They've converted 4 times out of 6. Not bad. This is third down and 12. Out of the gun, Watson. Throwing the out route and complete. That's Fuller. Now after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. We'll step aside and come back to Carson after this. So on fourth down, Texan kicker Kaimi Fairbairn comes on. On the right hash, it's a 43-yard attempt. Fairbairn able to put this one through. No one attempted or made more field goals than Fairbairn last year. He was 37 of 42.
And they were grateful for every one of those that put 3 points on the board. But I'll guarantee you, Bill O'Brien, the head coach, is thinking to himself, we need to use them a lot less in 2019. Let's make sure we score some more touchdowns.
And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line.
The Chargers take over first and 10 at their own 23-yard line.
So Rivers will lead the Chargers up first and 10 at their own 23.
3 down. Hey, check. 3 down.
Here's Eckler to begin the drive. And he'll get this one up to the 26. A gain of 3, second down.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on second down.
390.
Get your swerve on.
Play action now. Rivers. Throwing left side, it's complete. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. That one good for a first down pickup of 18 yards.
One of the advantages of zone defense, as I remember it, is being able to see the play develop in front of you. One of the disadvantages, when they find those levels where they can hit you with it. Sometimes behind the corner and in front of the safety, it makes it tough to defend.
Double tight, guys, double tight. 3 down.
49, check 49, check 49.
Now Gordon on first down. And he goes across midfield and down into Houston territory. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be second down.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
Hey, I'm coming. Showing up.
On second down, they'll run with Gordon. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember, the last drive they went 3 and out.
Check 390, 180. Get that quarterback, D-line. Get that quarterback, D-line. D-line, get that.
Rivers now to throw on first down. Throw left side complete. It's Henry. The completion good for 3, and it's second down. Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
That first down completion only netted him 3. Second and 7. Throwing, Rivers. And a flag comes in as that one falls incomplete. Well, let's see who this is on. So the contact came before the ball got there, and the flag is thrown.
Timing is everything, isn't it? And it's so hard to cover these great receivers. They have such great body control, and they can fake you out. In this case, as you described, got there before the ball got to the receiver. Penalty flag had to come out.
And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Jonathan Joseph there for the tackle. They're down here in the third quarter, trying to get something going. Going to the outside there didn't work out, though.
Yeah, and from the cheap seats and from where you and I are sitting, we did pay a pretty good price to get in here, right? You often wonder to yourself, why do you make that type of a call? That one went for no gain. But I think this offense thinks to itself, if we keep running these plays, eventually something may pop. It just didn't on that one.
On second down, it's Gordon, and he'll get this down only to the 18. The second down play, not much better than the first, just a gain of 1 there.
I have to think a major focus of the halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the first level, make sure that block's secured before they slide off and try and chip someone at the second level.
The Chargers on third down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This is 3rd and 9. They just do get the play off as he'll look to throw. Got a man. It's Allen for the Charger touchdown. Keenan Allen, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Chargers have taken the lead. Extra point by Badgley, up and good. And that gives him a 3-point lead. Following the touchdown, Badgley out there to kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25. Yard line. Watson will bring up the Texans here, 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Watson staying on his feet. Escaping the pressure right. He'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31.
Now, that was not a bad scramble there on 1st down. He didn't force it, nor did he throw it away. He was able to take off, and now he made it a very manageable 2nd and short.
They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31.
I know he ain't got it.
Handoff. This is Clement. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield.
That's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
The Texans on third down. They've hit 4 of 7. This is 3rd and 7. From the gun, here's Watson. Going deep for Hopkins. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. It's been this way most of the afternoon, hasn't it? This secondary, it really put this receiving core on lockdown.
Listen, they've worked together like a basketball team that's playing excellent defense. Great communication, doesn't matter whether it's man or zone. And especially against deep balls, as we saw there, they're not giving up anything to them.
Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. So Rivers will lead the Chargers up 1st and 10 at their 35-yard line. Rivers. Whipping run into Allen. That's complete. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. They may want to go back to that one. First play of the drive, good for 15 and a first down. Rivers now 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. Running on first down, Eckler. And he's going to get forward for about 5, but that may be coming back. What say you, Mr. Referee? You need your wide receivers as blockers. Sometimes they get a hold.
The big runs are often a result of what they do on the perimeter. In this case, got caught holding, and this one will come back.
Set, 180.
Come on. Tie it right. We got 3, fellas, we got 3.
They hand this off to Harris. And he'll be brought down at the 50 after a gain of about 5. Call that a gain of 5 as the clock ticks inside of 2 minutes to go now in the 3rd.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain considering the blitz that they just had against them.
Set, 390.
Check 41. He can't hang. He's not going to get me.
Now here's another carry for Harris. And able to break 1 tackle, but then quickly brought down. They follow up the gain of 5 by only getting 1 there on 2nd down.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
The Chargers on 3rd down. 3 for 7 so far in this game. This is 3rd and 9. From the gun, Rivers. And that is incomplete.
Really nice play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball, but for the guys on the offensive line, they're doing a nice job of trying to protect their passer. But when a guy hops in the air and goes airborne to try and knock one away, it's difficult because you can't reach out and grab him. That'll be a holding penalty. So all you're trying to do is make some type of a play on him, make some type of contact to try and get his arms out of the sky.
Get ready.
At their own 7-yard line.
Set. 19. Keep it up, defense. Keep it up, guys. Hey, Check 24.
Now a play fake here on first down. Hopkins on the grab over the middle. And he gets it to the 30 when it's all said and done. A well-executed 22-yard gain. That catch, by the way, number 542 in his NFL career, that draws him level with Lance Allworth, who was a Hall of Famer with the Chargers back in the 60s and 70s.
Yeah, the man they called Bambi. So if you're in that type of territory, catch the same number of passes he caught, you know you're on your way to a big-time career. And just think, he's not through yet.
So first and 10 now from the 30. Here's Foreman. And he'll slip his way up across the 30 to the 32. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority one.
In 2018, Deshaun Watson had 5 fourth-quarter comebacks. Only Drew Brees of the Saints had more with 6. Throwing on second and 8. Watson eluding the pressure right. And he slides to avoid the hit. Deshaun Watson, so multi-dimensional, able to scramble for the first.
How many times have we seen this late in the fourth quarter? Because you know the pass rush is getting after him, and they get upfield, get that great push, and what do they create? Space, and he takes off.
We saw a number of good games earlier today. This one might top all of those. It's been a dandy as we come up on first and 10. On first and 10, it's Clement. And he'll be brought down right at midfield after a gain of only a couple.
Well, he was looking for some running room, and there wasn't a whole lot of it there on that play. I think he was lucky to get a couple of yards out of it because those defenders, they were rallying to the football pretty quickly.
From the 50, it's Watson. He almost had it. The big D lineman nearly had an interception. Instead, it falls down incomplete. I guess they're in a situation now, fourth quarter, where they're forced to take some chances. Know that that was the type of a chance you want to take.
And that one could very easily have been intercepted. And if it does get picked off, that could possibly seal this one.
The Texans on third down. They're at 50%, 4 for 8. This is 3rd and 8. Watson from the gun, he'll throw. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Hopkins. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Here's Ryan Quigley now as he's on to punt for Houston. He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. And a bit of a mistake there. This is well into the end zone for a touchback.
At their own 20-yard line.
So Rivers will lead the Chargers out 1st and 10 at the 20. They'll start the drive with a run by Gordon. And he's going to be hemmed in and brought down right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down.
2nd and 10 at the 20-yard line.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10.
Check 50. Check 50. Left right.
Now Rivers. Looking for Allen. He's got him on the slant. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. A gain of 13. It's a 1st down. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me. I'm going to keep firing.
This is a counter play. Eckler. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on 1st down. So the solid run on 1st, and I would imagine no real hurry to run that 2nd down play.
No, it's all on your quarterback now. He's going to keep an eye on the play clock and bleed things down, and he's not going to let the ball be snapped until it's inside 3 seconds left on the play clock. Unless, of course, you're playing a video game, you're trying to run it up on your friend.
Nice touch. Cold-blooded, too. The previous run, good for 9. Here's 2nd and a yard. On the give, this is Harris. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. 7 yards there and a 1st down. Now, I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely. You want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
2 1st downs have them up near midfield now on 1st and 10.
Just like that.
Rivers hands off to Eckler. Takes to midfield, but no further. Just a yard there. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Yeah, think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking, yet at the same time not going so fast as to leave too much time on the clock.
Rivers now from the 50. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a 3rd down.
We've seen good cover skills on display throughout this game, really from both teams. And there's another nice example there of them making it difficult to complete a pass.
The Chargers on 3rd down. They've converted 3 times in 8 chances. This is 3rd and 9. From the shotgun, it's Rivers. And it's complete. Henry. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or 2 shy of the 30. The Chargers passing game rolling a bit here. They've got another 1st.
Couldn't just sit on it here, could they? Had to throw the ball on 3rd down. Got the big completion in the pickup. Fresh set of downs now. They've got to feel great.
And defensively, a backbreaker. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10.
Don't get nervous.
Now a first down carry for Harris. And only able to get 2 here. Stopped at the 30.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
They'll keep it on the ground. Harris again. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. 4 yards on the pickup there as it'll leave him with a third and about 4 more for a first.
Brings up 3rd and 4.
Set 180, 390.
Check tight.
Rivers. And that is incomplete. Well, the other day they told us when we've got 3rd and 5 or less, we have to be able to convert. And I guess every team would say that, Charles, but an opportunity missed there.
What they were trying to tell us is they believe it's a matchup game at that point. And they liked some matchups that they had, thought they could exploit them, unable to do so on that play.
And he missed it. It's no good. And this score will stay right where it is. Maybe an important 4th quarter miss as this stays a 3-point game.
Yeah, now overtime is very much in the equation here. Just what you mentioned, a 3-point game. They get a drive, put it through the posts. We could have some free football, couldn't we?
Watson will bring up the Texans here 1st and 10 at the 33-yard line.
Even. 4 down. Even.
They'll start out on the ground. It's Lamar Miller. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. Nice way to start the drive, a gain of 12 and a first down.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there. I'm going to tackle this guy. By the 4th quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down 4th quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. On 1st and 10, Watson. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. 10th carry down for Lamar Miller. And he's going to get across midfield and into Charger territory. They get 6 here after the incompletion, and it'll leave them with a 3rd and 4.
I think we can safely say that those types of plays are the backbone of this offense. We know not every run's going to be a big hitter, but you know they'll take that type of result on each and every attempt.
This a big play for both sides. What will we see here? 3rd and 4. To throw is Watson. Operating from the gun. He's going to go for a big... This is caught inside the 15. That'll put him at 77 yards receiving for the ball game. It's a first down.
That could very well be a defining play in this game. A touchdown, that gives them a lead, and they took a major step towards getting there with that big play right there.
So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. So it's Texans football as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Now a 1st down throw, Watson. This will be caught just inside the 10. And here he'll get it down to the 7. A gain of 6 there on 1st.
It drives some people crazy to see those short throws underneath. They've got to find a way to gash the defense downfield.
6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. They go back to the ground now with Miller. Give him a yard on the run there, and that's going to set up a 3rd down and 2.
Tough day, tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a whole lot better there.
Let's get it.
The Texans on 3rd down. They've hit on half of them, 5 for 10. This time they face a 3rd and 2. Back to throw. Now he'll escape to his right. He can run for it, and he will. And he won't have the touchdown, but he will have the 1st down as he's tackled at the 2. Give him a gain of 4, able to convert, and that sets up 1st and goal now. Only way to get the lead here, of course, with a touchdown, and that's what they're gunning for on 1st and goal. They'll try to punch it in with Miller. And he is not going to get through here on try number 1. They stop him at the goal line. No gain on the play, and it's going to be 2nd and goal. Another shot from the 1 on 2nd and goal. They'll go with Foreman, and that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he can even get started. Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 25 ticks remaining on the clock. This Charger defense continuing to hold the line. Now it's a 3rd and goal situation. Now the Chargers will use the 2nd of their timeouts. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. This Charger defense continuing to hold the line. Now it's a 3rd and goal situation. Watson now to throw. The quick slant caught. And he's going to be a yard short. A 2-yard pickup leads to 4th and 1. And they will get the timeout. So 3 seconds remaining, and they can trot out the field goal unit and try to send this one to overtime. And a timeout comes in. The whistles blow with 3 seconds remaining. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. With 3 seconds to go, if it's good, we're off to overtime. And this one is right through. It's a little teaching moment here. Overtime rules. Remind us how this goes, partner.
Okay, so in the past, we had sudden death. First team to score wins, but no longer. Now, if the team receives the ball, scores a touchdown, they win the game. If they kick a field goal, though, or don't score, the other team gets a possession. And after both teams get a possession, then we're into sudden death. First team to score wins the game.
So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told as he's taken down back shy of the 20. So Rivers will lead the Chargers up 1st and 10 at their own 18. From the gun, Rivers. In trouble here, and down he goes. Back at the 8-yard line. Whitney Merciless barreling in for the sack.
Well, so much for setting the tone of the drive offensively. Giving up a big sack that loses that kind of yardage, not a great start.
So now 20 yards to go on 2nd down after the sack. Work to be done. Now Rivers going to give it off to Gordon. And just not much to be had there. 1 yard out to the 10. I don't want to overhype it, but this is a big early season game, especially an overtime win. That can give you a big boost going forward in the season.
It certainly can, and I don't think you're overhyping it because cliches go out the window when you start to play overtime. And you're right, the winner of this game now, that's an extra boost moving forward. And it actually is an extra hurt for the team that loses because normally you shake it off. But in this situation, it lingers a little bit longer.
The Chargers on 3rd down. They're right at about the league average, 40%, 4 for 10. This will be 3rd and 19. Throwing Rivers. He'll rifle this one deep right side. And that will be incomplete. Well, their defense did its job. Now they're going to get the football with a chance to win it.
And it feels like they ran out on the field, and right before they did, they told the offense, don't worry about this. We got you. Okay, we've got the situation under control. We'll get it back for you for a chance to win the game. And, boy, they did it well.
And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. Now a fair catch taken, maybe a yard or two shy of midfield. Just 34 yards on the punt there, no return. And the Texans with great field position to start this drive as they take over 1st and 10.
Set. Like 88. Mike, 49. Inventory down, coming.
First throw in OT for Watson, fighting to stay upright. But in the end, the pressure too great, and he goes down. Melvin Ingram dropping the hammer off the edge.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now 2nd down and 22 yards to go. Now Watson, his first throw of OT. He's going to air one out. And that's caught inside the 30. 33 yards that time.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. But big plays, Let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great. And what our camera missed was the fist pump from the sideline after that catch. They're fired out. That's a big game. So now then, the big play has them all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. Here's a handoff to Clement. Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. No gain on the play there, 2nd down.
And I think that's going to go down as no gain, but that doesn't seem fair for the effort that was presented on that play. That should go down as a loss. I know, I'm a defensive guy, but you got to like the play that was made.
He made a lot of those plays last week. He was AFC Defensive Player of the Week, picking up where he left off.
I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you.
They keep it on the ground. This time it's Miller. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. They call that a loss of 6 yards. And it's 3rd down now.
Set. 19. What's the run? They're running it.
3rd and long. It's Watson. And the Chargers rush is going to get there. Down he goes. Melvin Ingram able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon. So a big one coming here for Ka'imi Fairbairn. And now the Chargers are going to signal for another timeout. They'll be left with just 1 remaining here at OT. So the field goal unit is on the field as this is a big spot right here. They'll spot it at the 47, so call it a 57-yard attempt. And this is off the left upright. And it comes back. It's no good. And that changes everything here in OT. Well, when you get that ball in OT, that's not the chance you envision, and the long field goal attempt here winds up lacking.
And you don't want to hang too much of this on your kicker, but he's going to leave you in a tough spot as well because you give your opponents excellent field position to start their first drive.
So Rivers will lead the Chargers up 1st and 10 on their side of midfield at the 47. They'll start the drive with Harris. And very little running room there. He did get a couple up to the 49.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
That 180! Hey, Brown 80! I'm coming for you, mine! Wait, 89!
From just shy of midfield, Rivers. And right side, Henry's got it. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. It's a pickup of 17 and a 1st down. Charles, you get into these overtime situations, that's not a bad guy to dial into.
Well, when you have to have plays, especially in a spot as you just described, we're in OT, you've got to go to the guys you can trust and you know are going to make the plays. Well, they say, it's not the X's and the O's, it's the Jimmies and the Joes.
2 minutes left in this overtime session and still all tied. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33.
Tight left. Alert. 3 down. Watch twist.
On the give, this is Eckler. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short.
Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
8 yards the tally on that first down run. Here's 2nd and 2.
Come on, D. 41's the mic. 41's the mic. All you get behind.
On 2nd down, this is Harris. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line. 4 yards the pickup, first down. And I know you, with every carry, especially in overtime, you're just saying, if you're that ball carrier, hold on to the football.
Hold on to it, protect it, but not necessarily settling, because you're trying to get to the end zone. You're trying to end the game right here. And I know the defensive guys poking, clawing, raking, trying to knock the ball free and protect their end zone.
Yeah, like you alluded to, especially this part of the field. To throw, Rivers. And that is incomplete. Showed off the arm strength there, but to no avail. 2nd down. Another nice job there defensively. They've really stymied their passing attempts, and it continues in overtime.
And for them to do that, that means they've had to be cohesive on defense. Pressure in the quarterback's face. Good coverage of not just the wide receivers, but the tight end, the running backs when they try and slip out, and making sure they're at the point of attack. When the ball's in the air, they get there and help force some of those incompletions.
So after the incompletion, 2nd and 10 from the 22.
Let's go.
On 2nd down, Eckler. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. It'll be a loss of 1, and that'll bring up a 3rd and 11 situation. Now a second timeout called for by the defense. They'll be down to just 1 remaining as we step aside here in overtime.
Nice hit, boy.
Set, 180.
Silver. Check.
Orange ball 4.
On 3rd down, here's Eckler. And not even back to the line of scrimmage this time as they're on him quickly once more. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play. And that'll bring up 4th down. And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here. And now before they run this 4th down play, we're going to get a timeout. That's their 2nd and last timeout here in the overtime session. We'll be back. Oh, this one pushed to the right. Badgley missed it. No good. And we will play on here in overtime. So it's his 2nd missed field goal here. That wouldn't have ended the game, but it would have given him a leg up in OT.
And that's got to invigorate this defense. They did their part. Now it's time for their offense to put together a drive and seal the deal.
Watson will bring up the Texans here 1st and 10 at about the 32. A shotgun snap for Watson. Oh, and it's intercepted. Trevor Williams with a pick. And a great return as he gets this all the way down close to the 30-yard line. So everything hanging in the balance, resting on the right foot of Michael Badgley. This to win it in overtime. I don't think this will even, nope, it doesn't even get there. Well short, and we will play on here in overtime. So possible disaster there. It's an empty possession, and there's no worse time to have an empty possession than the first drive of overtime.
Yeah, and remember the situation now, Brandon. It's sudden death from here on out. You can bet he's begging for a chance to redeem himself. But the question now is, will that chance ever come?
They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10. And they will take a knee here. Well, how about this? The very, very rare tie that we just witnessed. Hard to believe.
You don't see it very often. A bonus period of football, yet both teams go home a little bit unsatisfied.
Drama, drama, drama. We saw all of it in this one. Overtime, all the way to the end of OT. The long field goal shot to win it, but they couldn't convert.
And because it's the regular season, we don't play more bonus football. We don't go to another period. It ended right there. You get one in overtime to get it done. Look, let's face it. That field goal attempt was a long shot to begin with. No pun intended, or maybe pun intended. But it doesn't go through, and it ends in a tie.
That'll do it for us. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. Thanks to our entire crew as well. We'll talk to you next time. So long, everybody.